The reaction type shown here is called single replacement. In a single replacement reaction, a lone or single element, and you can think of that as any element that's just with its own kind of atoms. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like argon with no subscript. It could be Cl2 or Br2 or H2 or O2 or N2, as long as it's just one kind of element. So a single element replaces a similar kind of element in a chemical compound. Think of it as mind if I dance with your date. So somebody is at the prom or the dance, and somebody comes up and says they want to dance with your date. What are you going to do? You're going to wind up standing over there by yourself. So here's what happens. An element is there and a compound is there. And during the course of the reaction, this element is going to go and join this compound, and some other element is going to get kicked out of the compound. So it's going to look something like this. Element A, and it can be any element, and compound BC are there in the reactants of the reaction. The reaction takes place, and now A has taken B's place in the compound. Now A is joined with C, and B is by itself. Mind if I dance with your date? A is now dancing with C, and B is over here standing by himself. This can happen where a metal takes the place of another metal in the compound. Here, I'm just calling this M1 for metal 1, and this is M2 for metal 2. Metal 2 is joined to a nonmetal in an ionic compound. Metal 1 comes and takes metal 2's place, and now you have metal 1 joined to the nonmetal in the compound, and metal 2 is over here wondering what happened. You can also have this take place where a nonmetal takes the place of another nonmetal. Here I've shown you nonmetal 1, and it could be chlorine, bromine, fluorine, but nonmetal 1 is there by itself, and in the compound is some metal and nonmetal 2. During the reaction, nonmetal 1, I made a mistake. In the reaction, nonmetal 1 goes and takes the place of nonmetal 2 in the compound, so now the metal is with nonmetal 1 instead of nonmetal 2, and nonmetal 2 is over here wondering what happened. I corrected my mistake. A specific example of this is aluminum bromide and chlorine are the reactants. Aluminum is joined with bromine or bromide, and chlorine is by itself. Chlorine is the element. Aluminum bromide is the compound. During the reaction, the chlorine becomes joined with the aluminum, and now the formula says aluminum chloride, and there's bromine standing out there all by himself. Bromine used to be in the compound with aluminum, but now bromine is all by itself. So this is a single replacement. An element took the place of some similar element, and I say similar element because a metal will take the place of a metal in the formula, or a non-metal will take the place of another non-metal in the formula. Okay, that's single replacement reactions.